Okay, hello YouTube. We are going to be going over these patch notes from Wuthering Waves. I guess that's what to call it. The dev update, announcement on Wuthering Waves 1.0 version, and future adjustment directions. I am really excited to see what's in here. I have a lot of high hopes. Please come join us on Twitch if you ever have the time. I stream daily at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/hex_juice. The Twitch audience is looking very intelligent today. Their brains are swollen. It's almost coming out of their ears. Their brains are so big. It is insane. And if you want to be so smart that your brains are starting to press up against your skull, because that's how you know you're really smart, come over to Twitch. It's a really fun time. But let's get started on this dev update. Subscribe. Dear Rovers, greetings. We are the Wuthering Waves dev team. Since the official launch of Wuthering Waves, we have received a lot of valuable feedback and suggestions through social media and in-game surveys. We are genuinely grateful for your attention and your support. We apologize for the deficiencies and issues present in Wuthering Waves, our first fully independently developed and globally published game at Kuro Games. We understand that this has affected your gaming experience, and we are working to improve it for those who love the game. We have been working on optimizations and iterations for the current 1.0 version, and the development of subsequent version updates is also underway. Below, we will address some of the most discussed and concerned issues. 1. On the Echo development experience. I posted a video about this morning, and then they posted it right about the same time, and I'm very mad about it because it made my video kind of useless, and I just got a bunch of comments like, hey, your video is useless, they posted a thing and they fixed it. Okay, thank you. But hey, I'm glad we've listened. We are aware of the common concern in the community that the current Echo leveling experience feels too grindy and the game lacks a waveplate storage system. We have confirmed and will implement the following adjustments while we are working internally on solutions to address other common concerns. In the current version, we will launch a limited time Echo material double yield event, Cord Cleansing, which I think is very fair. I'm going to be honest with you. I still don't think that we need to double rewards or anything like that or increase rewards. I think part of the problem of this is that people are very impatient, and I think that endgame shit should be for endgame. We are not in endgame, and the reason that those taste it fields don't give as much rewards as you want is because they're not fully leveled up, because we are not max world level. It's always going to give you less than you want earlier in the game. They don't need to fast track our progress, but I think this is a very fair middle ground. In version 1.1, we will adjust the progression system to reduce the shell credit costs of Echo development, which would be great because it's really expensive credits wise. I think this is very, very fair. In version 1.1, we will remove the reward cutscene of the taste it fields. I'd love that. It's very time consuming. Not something I'd really thought about, but I think that's great. From version 1.1 and forward, the yield of Echoes and Echo development materials will be increased. I think that this is something that, like, I think it's good that they're listening to community feedback, but I am incredibly concerned that if we increase the yield of these materials too much, that people will run out of reasons to grind in the game. Part of gacha is getting you to log in daily and interact daily with the game. If they can progress their teams and min-max their teams too much, players will lose interest in continuing to log in and do work. So I'm glad that they're listening. I am concerned about how much this is going to be increased, because if we can min-max teams too quickly, it is going to be a detriment to the game long term. In upcoming updates, we'll introduce the waveplate storage system. So I'm guessing this is sort of just like when you've gone over your stamina limit, like fragile resin and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. I figured. 2. Regarding our handle of the reward system error when recycling developed Echoes. On May 29, 2024, we were notified of an issue with the Echo recycling system where the amount of shell credits players obtained when recycling developed Echoes was wrong. Since this is an issue that directly impacts the game's balance, we fixed this problem through an emergency live update on the same night and issued compensation to all players. We informed the players of the situation and announced that we would remove all additional shell credits obtained unexpectedly as a result of this bug within 14 business days and issue compensations accordingly. Following an internal discussion, we have decided to compensate all players with the shell credits based on the maximum amount of shell credit that have been unexpectedly yielded through this bug to address the negative impact caused. I don't entirely know the details of this issue. I'll take it regardless. I don't know anything about this bug. Maybe I missed that, but I'll take free money. Shit. Additionally, to address the poor experience with the ecosystem, we will compensate all rovers with crystal solvents times 20. So that's 20 essentially fragile resin, which is very, very, very poggers. I'm into that. On the error in the 5-star weapon description, As has been discovered by our players, the description of the 5-star weapon Verdant Summit in the game in certain languages contained a mistranslation. This was specifically in JP. Upon discovering this issue, we promptly corrected the description and issued compensations to all rovers. We have also initiated a comprehensive internal review of the localized versions of the in-game text across all the languages that we support. I'm very glad for this because even in English, I don't know if there's been any like vital different issues, but it is important that we check that because there's a lot of localization translation issues in all of the languages that I know of. We sincerely apologize for this mistake and want to reassure you that we're committed to continuously improving the quality of our localization to better the experience of all rovers. This is very important when they are a global game that people globally can get the same sort of experience. There's a lot of small issues. It's not the massivest of mistranslations as far as, you know, in English. I think the worst was the Japanese one thus far, but I think the localizations do need to be improved regardless. And it does seem like we'll be offering a one-time compensation of Forging Tides ×5 to all rovers for the known localization issue. I'm okay with that. It didn't affect me really, but I hope that they're still working on the Japanese side of this because that still seems to be a problem to me. They should hire more to do this. This is important. They should get this right the first time, especially when it is coming to specialty weapons, limited characters and stuff like that. They need to get translations right the first time so that we can prevent something like what happened with Japan. Again, when it comes to people's money, that's a problem. If it's silly little dialogue stuff where it's not translated very well or it's not localized very well, I feel like that's kind of like chill. But when it's specifically about what people are gambling for, when it's about gacha stuff, especially limited gacha stuff, this needs to be perfected on release, not after. We have received extensive feedback on the duration and rewards of the Overdash Club event. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. The event is not great. We will introduce a new limited time special event, Wuthering Exploration, to offer new rewards and content to improve your gaming experience. Event rewards will be 800 Astrites, Morphable Elite Class Echo 1. Ooh, I'm about to bust. These are such nice rewards to get. I think you can only get these at this time as a reward from the roguelike game mode, and they are so nice. So this I'm excited for. Moving forward, we shall ensure we make greater collective endeavors internally in designing the version events to improve the event content quality and rewards for your better experience. I'll be honest, I kind of didn't super mind the event, not because it was good or because I thought it was like a good event that I'd like to be repeated in the future, but more so because I didn't find it onerous. It was an easy event where I got a couple rewards. I mean, the amount of effort for the amount of rewards I thought was appropriate. It just wasn't much of anything, and it was pretty lame. So I'm hoping that in the future they have better events, but I guess to me, I kind of thought of it like they maybe made a simple event so they could fix like any issues that came up on release, and that was kind of my hope and my prayer. I'm glad they're listening, but I didn't see it as the hugest deal because I was kind of like, I feel like this is like a 1.0 event and it'll get better with time and there will be more stuff to make events out of anyway. I was busy with other stuff in the game, TBH. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. Like I have plenty to do. I don't need an event that pads out the amount of time that I need to play because I'm already playing a ton anyway. I don't care. To allow everyone early access to experience more content and features of Wuthering Waves in version 1.0, we have decided to advance the release of subsequent content in version 1.0 starting June 6, 2024. So basically, they're releasing the second half of the patch on the 6th, which is Thursday. So that's like 7-ish PST, 10 p.m. EST approximately. So it's like later in the night, which is fine. This release will include the companion story Solitary Path for Resonator Yinlin, the featured Resonator Convene event When Thunder Pours for Yinlin, the limited time challenge event Alloy Smelt, along with many more spin-offs and features. Wuthering Waves version 1.0 will last until June 28th, 2024, 6 a.m. essentially, after which we will schedule a server downtime and implement the update for Wuthering Waves 1.1 Thaw of Eons, which will include a new area, Mount Firmament, new Resonators, Jinxi and Chongli, and a new boss, Zhuwei. So we are announcing a new area, we've gotten sneak peeks of these two next Resonators, and a new boss, which means new content as well, like new story content most likely. What else is there? Ooh, I see camera. I saw something about the camera. I'd love that to be fixed. We've heard your feedback regarding the poor experience with auto aiming and auto lock-on controls, key remapping requirements, and the game feel design. My biggest biggest problem with the game right now is the fact that there is an auto lock that is not able to be turned off. So if they address this, I am going to be so excited because right now I have all of the camera locks turned off. All of them. Any auto lock that could be on the game, I have turned it off, and I still have an auto lock. Regardless of me having turned off every option for it, it still locks, which is incredibly frustrating, especially because I play a lot of Encore. It makes me play less Encore because I will be facing a character and it will lock on to a cow or a fucking chicken or some shit a mile away. The auto lock makes sense on mobile, but if I turned off the setting, I want it to actually be off. And if they fix this, I will bust. In the recent updates, we have disabled the combat camera correction feature on PC by default. I already have that off, so is it gonna actually not do that? We have also optimized the default values and ranges for combat camera settings. I hope that this is like actually off because I have this turned off and it's not off either. It does also do the camera shit. In recent updates, we have optimized the aggro ranges for certain bosses, including Thundering Mephis, Crownless, Lampy Lumen Myriad, and Impermanence Heron, and adjusted the prerequisites for enemies to leave the combat state to reduce abnormal disengagements. Okay, so this is about the arena sizes, which I think is a genuine issue. Other people did not, and that's whatever. They can suck on my wiener. But this is about the arenas resetting too easily, where there's not a clear combat, like, hard thing. Touch ghost issues on mobile. So on mobile, I don't know what any of this is, but y'all can let me know if y'all care about this. We have expanded the anti-ghost touch area around buttons. Future versions will include further optimization for mobile controls. I think that's great. Making it easier for mobile will be great. Delayed availability of custom key binding feature. In version 1.1, the prerequisite to unlock the custom key binding feature will be lowered to Union Level 2. A level prerequisite for custom keybinds? That's crazy. We will also introduce a new player tutorial for using the custom key binding feature, and we will gradually support more custom key binding options for both keyboard, mouse, and controller modes. I think the biggest one of this was specifically for the manual locking thing, because you can only, I think, use the scroll wheel, and that's like very disruptive when you're playing. I can't believe that was locked behind levels. That's insane to me. In version 1.1, we will remap the current controller shortcut of open chat to open map and add an option to invert the y-axis. I know some people were asking for this. That's great. This is for controller. Future versions will support controller mode on mobile devices, but it doesn't say it's the next version, just future versions. So it means that they're working on it. That's great as well. Poor game field design and impact signification. In future versions, we will constantly improve the event signification and game field design for characters and monsters, enhancing the overall combat experience and positive feedback during battles. So we're talking about like hit satisfaction and stuff like that, which I personally don't have much of a problem with. But yeah, I think this is great. I think that they cared that it's not great is good. I've not personally had a problem with hit satisfaction and stuff like that, but I'd love it to be even better than I find that it is already. I think that's great. On other contents, no purchase limits for store items like flour, leading to accidental purchases. I know my mod is spamming the fuck out of chat for this one. My mod spent like $1 million on some random shit. Rainy bought like a bazillion inhalers because of this. I have 430 inhalers. I bought 900 inhalers. Oh my god. So that's good. I'm glad we fixed that. Okay, performance issues, crashes, and instability. In recent updates, we have fixed crash and instability issues affecting certain devices. We are currently identifying the causes of other crash reports and will continue to implement fixes. This is lovely. I don't think I've had a singular bug or issue or lag spike or anything in quite a while. I think there is still some amount of a memory leak, which is more or less just fixed by closing the game, and so I don't necessarily mind it. But yeah, like this is great. I've had very few problems basically at all. The optimization issues are completely gone for me. It runs super smooth. Not that I ever had like any crazy ones, but at this point I have like none. We have received numerous player feedback and suggestions regarding the Depths of the Illusion Realm event in version 1.0. In the upcoming 1.1 update, we will further improve this event and add new content, including more playable characters, new challenges, new mechanics, and new buffs. That's great. I actually really like this game mode. I think it's a lot of fun. It's the roguelike game mode. It's kind of like simulated universe. I think Elusive Realm is super fun. Super duper, super fun. I like it a lot, and I'm excited to see what they do with it because it does seem a bit unfinished, but I really enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan, and I hope the more they add that it gets even more fun because I really like that event. I think it's super cool. Apart from the adjustments mentioned above, we recognize that there are still many issues in the game that affect player experience. We are committed to listening to every single piece of feedback, continuously organizing, optimizing, and resolving these issues to make Wuthering Waves better. And then it's just some more community glazing and committing to making things better and listening to the community. So I want to share some thoughts on this that might be a little bit not shared by others in the community. I want to caution members of the community. Sometimes it's too much of a good thing. I think it is great that Kuro is listening to the community on issues that take away their ability to experience the game, optimization issues. There's a ton of stuff in here that I think is really, really good. The thing I am personally worried about, actually there's two things that I'm worried about. The first is they even mentioned this themselves, that they have rushed to try to fix issues, and that has created a less than professional and inappropriate response to those issues. I understand, like, it's a good thing that they want to fix things so badly, but it takes away from the goodness of it when we handle things without thorough consideration and professionalism, okay? So I think that there is a reality that Kuro Games needs to be able to acknowledge something and also think of the appropriate way to handle it, even if it takes an extra 12 hours. Because it seems right now that in some cases that Kuro Games is trying to respond and fix and fix and respond and fix and fix and be there within like minutes of things happening, like instantly, as much as possible on top of it. And I think that's a good thing. But then their solutions are also rushed. That's what happened with the Japanese translation stuff. That's obviously what happened with the shell credit issue. And like, they need to actually sit and think beforehand so they don't have to apologize for trying to help but not doing it right. Because if we have to apologize for the help we were trying to do, it's not the greatest help. Sometimes as players, we need to be okay with waiting. So that's kind of one. And then my second sort of issue kind of goes into this, which is this like extreme community pleasing we're doing right now. I think they are apologizing a lot. I worry that over time, this game is not going to have the same vision as it could if they take on too much player feedback. Like, I'm a little concerned, especially about the ecosystem stuff, because there is a reality that if they've changed the ecosystem to make it too easy to build your characters, it is going to negatively impact this game. It is. And so I want them to continue caring. I want them to continue listening, but I want them also to keep the game good and make the game better and not just please the community, because I can tell you that motherfuckers don't really know what they want. Players don't necessarily know what they want, and what they want isn't necessarily good for the game long term. I think it's a good thing right now that they're listening, but I hope that this is not something that is going to become a problem where they will just bend to everything the community wants, because that is not ultimately long-term a good thing. It's not. However, I think a lot of these changes seem very fair and very good. And I'm very excited for them to fix some of the camera issues, but I'm very happy that they are listening. I don't want to like get that twisted. I'm happy that they are listening. I'm happy they are acknowledging problems. I'm happy they are acknowledging their own mistakes. But like, eventually there is going to come times where we have to tell the community, no, that's enough. And we're not gonna do this anymore. That's not good for the game. You don't know what you want and need. We're gamers. That does not make us apt to tell people how to develop their shit, period. Otherwise, I'm very excited about a lot of these changes. I'm always happy for more free shit. I'm excited for Yinlin coming early. I think that they probably did that so that they weren't competing with Zenless Zone Zero, if we're being honest with one another. It's a good call. I agree. I think it's a smart decision because they shouldn't really compete with Zenless Zone Zero on that. I'm excited for Yinlin to come out. And otherwise, I'm really excited for a lot of these changes. I hope that they do them well with proper thought and professionalism and consideration so that we don't have to fix our fixes anymore. And I hope that everything with JP is being settled. I haven't heard anything new on that. And I hope that they're figuring that shit out as well. So let me know in the YouTube comments what you think down below. What change are you most looking forward to? Personally, in-game, I'm really looking forward to camera changes because it's really been annoying for me. Come join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/hex_juice. We stream daily for as long as I can till I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I'll see ya later. Bye-bye!